So I went through the Sitekit install, your videos, which were very, very, very good. Thank you.
Good. Thank you.
Sometimes I worry about recording videos like that, and then all of a sudden Google changes their interface and you got to redo it.
Right.
But there's only been slight changes. It was really good.
Okay, good.
But at the last the three videos, the last one said, "Here's keep going, and here's another video on how to tell if it's on your site." And I did not see the video.
Okay.
So I may be
So let us look and see. So you're in step 1.
yeah, it was
Okay. I maybe didn't record or publish that video.
how to set up and verify. So there's 3. Was it that? No, I'm not logged in right now, but there were 3 and they were awesome.
Okay.
It just wasn't
Create a Google Analytics account. Add Google Analytics to Sitekit. Use GTM and Sitekit to add Google Analytics to a website. And let me just look at this one real quick and see. Maybe it's at the end. No.
That's all. I just wanted you to point it out where it was. That's it.
Okay.
Because I may like your method better than me.
Okay. Okay. So let's talk about that right now, since I obviously didn't record the video.
Oh, okay.
I mean, I feel like I wanted to and didn't. I'm going to look and make sure I didn't record it and forgot to publish it or something like that. But
well, you don't. I guess if you want, you can just use this as your recorded video, splice it up.
I mean, I could.
Well, you don't have to. You don't have to do it now if you don't. It's totally fine because I verify it with a Google add-on kind of thing.
So yeah, I'd love to hear what your process is for testing it in case it's different from mine. I'm always open for new ideas too.
Yeah, the only thing that I do right now is I don't like go to every single page, but right now I go to the home page and I'm using Google Tag Assistant Legacy.
Okay.
And it can enable it on, I can share my screen if you want.
Yeah, I use that as well to see what's in there.
Yeah. All right, go for it.
Yeah,
for some reason, I'm having a hard time keeping my camera on, but go on.
Okay, so like for this page, it's this. So you have to actually hit the record button, Google Tag Assistant Legacy. So this is the site, and the question is this should be what I see, I hope.
Sorry, I muted myself because I'm coughing. So if you're looking at this, you have 3 things. The global site tag, which has a G dash. That's a GA4 code. We kind of talked about this last week, Anawa, remember? Then we have the global site tag, which is the same JavaScript, but it uses a different identifier. This is a UA identifier. So this is for, I guess my video is not going to show up today. And this is for Universal Analytics. It's the same JavaScript code, and you can send the UA or the G tag to it. Okay. So what that tells us is this is running both GA4 and UA and Tag Manager. What you would want to double check, what this is not showing you is your G tag within your Tag Manager or outside your Tag Manager? So that's okay. Yeah. So you'd have to log into your Tag Manager install, because you won't be able to see it outside. And within the process, if you took the third video in the Curious Ants process, it walks you through the not complicated, but the tricky step of moving from SiteKit, installing your Google Analytics code, and moving that into Tag Manager so you don't double count.
Yeah, and I followed that.
Okay, so that should be fine.
So that would be then a good video to verify how you do it on each page, and then making sure you don't double count.
Yeah. So let me share my screen.
Okay.
And I'm going to show you what I do, which is just slightly different. So there are two ways to do this. I'm looking at a page in Curious Ants. I use the Ghostery plugin.
Okay.
It does what the Tag Assistant does, plus a couple other things. Number one, it blocks Google Analytics from firing. So I know I'm not inflating my client's data by looking at their website.
I have a question for you on that.
Okay. But it also confirms all the different codes that are being executed on this site outside of just Tag Manager. Or sorry, outside of just Google products. So if I was running Facebook, it would show it here too. If I was running LinkedIn, it would show it by Bing. If I was running Hotjar, it'll show me CallRail, all the different tracking scripts on a page. Again, page by page basis, so you'd have to go and click on several different pages to confirm, right? But with each page, I can go, oh, look, there's Gravatar. There's a couple other Clarity,
yeah.
Interesting.
So, where it says the site analytics, Google Analytics, does it tell you if what that is? Like, is that,
So it says analytics.js, not GTag.
So that would be your GA4?
That would be, no, analytics.js is universal.
Universal. Okay.
Right.
Yeah.
There.
Right. But so here's what's going on here. Ghostery is making the error of conflating Google Tag Manager and GTag. I don't know if you can read this on the small screen.
Yeah, I see it.
But it's gtm.js, that's Tag Manager, and I know that's because it's got a gtm- something number. Then gtag.js ID equals g-, which is GA4.
Yes.
So what this is telling me is I have, like you, analytics. I'm a little different install. I'm using analytics.js for universal. I'm using GTag for GA4. And then I'm using Tag Manager. And because this is blocking based on the URL, this says Google Analytics URL, this is Tag Manager. It's not I'm just learning something here. It's actually not blocking Google Analytics 4, this tag. So I can do is I can say block on all sites.
Block on all sites?
Right. So now
in that URL.
It'll stop Tag Manager from executing anytime I visit a page when Ghostery is applied.
And when you say visit a page, you mean on this URL, or is that what we're talking about?
So I can, with Ghostery, I can block on iSites, restrict only on this URL.
I see.
Or always trust on this site.
Okay.
That's kind of
block on all.
Yeah. So I just killed Tag Manager on all because I also don't want to inflate GA4 data.
Yeah. Okay.
So I've learned something here. Especially working with small clients, you got to be careful about, you're visiting their site.
Yeah.
You might be the only visitor for a day in the, that doesn't really deliver confidence.
Yeah.
So I like Ghostery because it not only does what the Tag Assistant does, telling you that Google Analytics is on the site, but it also blocks it so I don't inflate. This also helps me identify what other codes are being tracked.
So 2 questions on that. One is, do you recommend your clients install this so they don't inflate their own numbers?
If a client looks at their own website a lot, I would.
Okay.
There are other ways to do it.
Okay.
You can IP exclusion if, for instance, you have a big company and they all use the same IP address. You can exclude their IP from executing.
Yeah, I think a lot of my clients would have just like a what is it? It's not a fixed IP.
Well, if you don't have a fixed IP, you can't exclude their IP address. They have to have a static IP.
Yeah.
Otherwise, for instance, I'm at home and my internet service provider is a company called Comporium. So my IP address is shared with my neighborhood, or at least my street, and so I don't want to exclude people on my street. And this probably wouldn't care, but like, you got to be careful about doing that. So I could potentially be preventing people who use Comporium from showing up in my Google Analytics. So you have to be running a static IP to do that. Dynamic IP won't work if you use IP exclusion.
Okay. You mentioned that on the entire site. Does this verify on the entire site?
No, this is page by page, kind of like the Tag Assistant.
Yeah.
So to what I would do for entire site, I'm going to go to Analytics. I'm going to go ahead and log in real quick. All right, I'm going to share my screen again. So this is Google Analytics 4. For some reason, it's showing today, but I can go to Reports, and I can go to Real Time. So this is showing me that I was being tracked by GA4 because this is where I am.
And then me in Florida.
This is
Or Charlotte.
Trisha. This
And
is
then
Dave. And Anawa
Okay.
is not on Curious Ants site.
Yep. See,
Or
when you
she's-
said Curious Ants, I went to it and said, "Don't let me go look."
Right. So what I can do is I can use the real-time report, and as long as I don't have something like Ghostery preventing me from getting to the site, I can check around a few pages and just make sure it's on every page.
Yeah, it seems like the chances, check a few pages, chances are if you're gonna find it's only about contact or something like that in the home page, it's gonna be everywhere else.
Right. So with WordPress, it's actually using the plugin is a superior option, like SiteKit plugin, because it will tend to add it to every page, which is what you need to do.
Mm-hmm.
However, pardon me, if the site was built without the, I think, WP head or a WP header, SiteKit might have a hard time adding it.
But you'll know that right away.
You would, because what I would do with a WordPress site is check every type of page, every template. Check a couple examples of every template. Let's say you have, service pages and they're all built with the same template. Well, the content on each might be unique, but I would check a couple and make sure they're showing up. That would confirm the codes on all the templates.
Okay.
Check a couple blog posts. If it's on a couple blog posts, it's inevitably probably on every blog post. Check, your every template that's possible, including your 404 page. You want your Google Analytics to execute on your 404 page because that helps you keep track if people are visiting pages that don't exist.
Yeah. Okay.
Another little trick you can use is look for referring traffic from your own domain. When sometimes you'll see this. If you ever see that a referring website is your own website, you there are several reasons why this could happen. One of which is that the Google Analytics code is missing from a page, which means when someone visits a page and then visits another, the session starts over and the website referring is your own website. So that means you might be missing Google Analytics code from the page in your site. It could also mean other things. For instance, if you have a PDF on your website, well, the Google Analytics code can't execute on your PDF. So if you click from a PDF to a home page, well, it's referring from your own website. If you spend more than 30 minutes on a page without interaction, meaning the session ends and then you click on another page, then your session starts over and the source of the session is your own website, right? Because your session is timed out. You have a 30-minute session time window. But so that's one of the reasons in the weekly analytics dashboard, I ask you to set up a measurement for self-referring traffic, because you want to kind of keep an eye on that and make sure you understand and can account for referrals from your own site. Does that help give you options for troubleshooting whether Google Analytics is on every page?
Yeah.
Um,
I think that makes sense. That's a good way to do it.
You can also use Screaming Frog, which I love as a SEO tool. It's not free, but you can tell Screaming Frog, look for gtag.js on every page and tell me if gtag.js is missing from a page.
Oh, that's a good idea.
Right? Things like that. But yeah, it's important to check it.
Sorry, I was on mute because my lawn people are here. So hopefully you can hear my question. You were talking about in Screaming Frog to check. I know Screaming Frog has like a free version, I think, and I think they'll pull up to like 100 or 500 URLs. So would you be able to look on the free version of that?
I don't think you have the option to add specific searches in the free version.
Okay.
If you develop websites or do SEO on a lot of websites, Screaming Frog is one of those tools that can really pay for itself really quickly. But I try to run Curious Ants without suggesting you buy a bunch of tools. So I'm trying to focus on showing you how to use the free tools at your disposal to do a lot of this. But there are, in some cases, are easier ways to do it if you spend a little money.
There's another, I don't know if you've heard of this one. I'm going to put it in chat. It's, there's a way to do it with this site. gachecker.com.
Yeah, I've seen tools like this before. Some of these have limits.
Yeah, this one they said like 10,000 pages or something.
Yeah. So yeah, actually I've used this one before. This has been around for a real long time. So yeah. And I like that it'll check for like subdomains too. And stuff like that.
Yeah. But I think this does only do UA, it doesn't do GA4.
No, it does GA4 because it's checking for the G tag.
Oh, it does do GA4?
Yep. It's also checking for GTM.js, which is tag manager.
Okay.